Did you go for a run? Did you go for a run with the bike? Yeah. How do you feel? You feel good? I had a guy tell me that it was extremely dangerous to ride a bicycle while walking dogs. Now, this is how I do it. I just hold the leash in one hand and I hold the handlebars in the other hand. And this is how I have to manage the leash. So if I need to take the slack, I have to bite the leash. But and I wear my helmet. I wear my helmet not because the dogs are gonna cause me to crash, but just in the case that I get hit by a car. That's the only reason I wear a helmet. Sometimes I wear a helmet like out on the trails, do some single track mountain bike, cross country type stuff. Sometimes I wear a helmet out there if I want to go fast. But generally speaking, I'm not like a huge stickler about helmets. If I'm going to be riding in the road, which I am now, or if I'm going to be on the trails, if I want to be pushing myself, or if I'm in a race or something. Anyways, on just like on an average little cruise, I'm just going to take my bicycle outside and ride. I'm not wearing the helmet. But let me see if I can get a shot at the dogs. This way. Let me see if I can get a shot at the dogs right here. Okay, I let them go ahead of me a little bit, just because I have the phone mounted to the handlebars. But this did take a little bit of training to get to this point. And then when they first get on the leash, when we first go out, they want to run. So kind of have to, be extra cautious of that. I have my brake lines flipped, so I have the back brake on the left lever, so I can lean back and grab my brake with my left hand while holding the leash in my right hand. Yeah, this dude was like, it's extremely dangerous. No amount of training is going to account for the environment. And like, here they go, they're doodles, so they want to chase birds. They really want to chase birds. One of them is interested in other dogs. The other one doesn't really care too much. But that's the only thing that I'm really weary of, is loose dogs. Because a lot of people have big ass dogs for no reason. They have some kind of pit mix, a lot of backyard German Shepherds. One day, now this was sad but true, hilarious, but absolutely true. I was walking my dogs on my bike like I do, and I was on this little stretch of street to where there are no turns, because if I see somebody walking their dog, I'll try to avoid them, because I know most people, their dogs aren't trained, they don't know how to walk. The dogs go ape shit crazy when they see us, so I try to avoid them. But as I was on this stretch of road where the only thing I could do is either continue forward or turn around, and so I decided to continue forward. This lady was, I don't know, maybe late 40s, but maybe about 5'2". She was walking a bull mastiff, a big ass bull mastiff, and so I'm like, this doesn't look good. So I start to pick up the pace with my dogs. I'm like, we're just gonna pass them as quickly as we can. We're gonna get out of here. And so we start to get close to her, and I see her, the dog is already starting to lunge. She plants her feet on the ground, and she like holds the leash, and she like leans back. Well, as we pass her, this dog jerks and pulls her horizontally through the air like a cartoon character. This bull mastiff rips this lady off the ground into a horizontal position. She's like in the air for like 2 seconds. She crashes, and then the dog is just dragging her down the street. Now, luckily, he wasn't an aggressive dog. He was just completely untrained. She had absolutely no control over this dog whatsoever. But he was big, he was handsome, and he looked dangerous. So I don't know this lady or what her mindset is, but I'm imagining, she got this dog thinking, oh, this dog will protect me. This dog will protect me, and I can take it out to walk and nobody will mess with me. Well, yeah, that might be true. Probably nobody wants to mess with you when you have this huge ass untrained dog. It's very unstable. But the dog is a danger to you now. I'm just riding my bike down the street with my dogs, and this thing, it literally like a cartoon. I will never forget this because, I was concerned for her, and I did stop. I'll finish the story. I did stop, because the dog was going to chase us, so I had to stop and confront the dog. And like I said, he wasn't aggressive. He was curious. He was interested. He wanted to meet my dogs. So whenever that happens, I drop my leash. I'm not going to hold my dogs while another dog is approaching them. It might be aggressive. It might try to fight. I'm not going to restrain my dogs from defending themselves. They're about 65, 70-pound Bernie doodles. They don't know a damn thing about fighting, but they're big enough to where I'm not going to try to restrain them, and we're all three of us, we're going to fight the other dog, is the point. But this dog didn't want to fight. It was just a big-ass bull mastiff for no reason. So I stopped the bike, and I let my dogs go. I stopped the bike, get off the bike, and I kind of let them meet. Hey, thank you. Have a good one. And yeah, I get a lot of looks and comments from people when I'm on having the dogs with the bike, because they're good dogs. They just cruise right along next to me. We average about 10 miles an hour. Probably about 8 to 12 miles an hour. We average about 10 miles an hour though. But yeah, the point of the story is no. Yes, it does require some training to be able to do this. And no, you can't control for the environment. This shit can happen. That's why I got my helmet. And actually, that's why I always have a belt. I always have my belt on me, and I wear it outside of my clothes in case I have to break up a dog fight. I'm gonna have to choke a dog. So that's why I have the belt for, and the helmet. I thought about getting a pepper spray or something, but then I might be tempted to use it prematurely, and I don't want to hurt any. I don't like loose dogs. It pisses me off. It's really annoying. It doesn't piss me off. It's really annoying. I think it's ignorant, responsible. It's really super trashy. Let your dogs run the neighborhood, but I don't want to hurt them. I'm about to pass by this house where this dog's always, several times he's come under the fence to chase us. But then what I do is I turn around on my bike, and then me and my dogs, we chase that dog back into its fence. We have a lot of fun. It did take some training. And no, you can't control for the environment. You just, you could be attacked by a pack of pits just walking your dog. Just letting it outside. I've seen videos, so this is a little bit more dangerous than that, obviously, but there's levels to this. It does require some skill, some practice that most people are just not willing to do just for regular behavior, just for regular periods. Nope, so he didn't come out the fence because somebody's sitting out there with him. I think they're like some kind of dog sitter. They have a whole bunch of dogs over there. There's some little Boston Terrier. Some little Boston Terrier. Personally, I think they're ugly as sin, but people love them. I guess they're healthy dogs. These are like some backyard German Shepherds. Oh no, that's one of them is a German Shepherd. The other one is some kind of Mastiff. I'm not sure what. Probably just a mutt. There's a little Jack Russell maybe. There's a Rottweiler right there. So yeah, there are so many dogs. Like every house has multiple dogs. I really didn't realize that until I got my dogs. These are my first dogs. I didn't realize how many dogs there are all over the place. It's actually kind of crazy. I think there are as many dogs as there are people here. There's a quiet dog behind this fence. I don't know if he's been like trained not to bark. Like it's a tall, like 6-foot chain link fence, and he'll just stalk the fence. He'll almost never bark. Oh, here's a cat. So yeah, sometimes there'll be a cat or a squirrel in the road and they'll want to chase it. And there's some cows. I didn't even know they had cows right here. We got cows right here in the neighborhood. But yeah, sometimes, so my dogs, they've got to where now they won't like chase a squirrel or a cat. They'll never cross my wheel. They'll never cross the path of my wheel, but they'll get excited and they'll want to run fast. So here's an off-leash dog. What's up, doggy? Come on. So there's a big one. I didn't have like a helmet cam or something. He was big, but his people were out there and they had him on some kind of collar. But anyways, you know, riding a bike, you will get chased by dogs. You will get chased by untrained, off-leash dogs. It's going to happen. So, having my dogs with me isn't necessarily more of a risk factor, because we do pass by houses where they do have well-trained dogs and they just watch us go by. Once again, the birds. They get really excited when they see birds. I think that's the poodle. That's the poodle blood in them. If I could do it again, I love my dogs, but I wouldn't get a doodle. I would get a standard poodle or a Labrador. I love my dogs, and they're good dogs. They're temperamentally, they're good. They require, you know, grooming. But yeah, they turned out good. I just got them from some backyard breeders off the side of the road. It said Bernie Doodles, $500. So I called my wife and said, "Hey, do you want a Bernie Doodle?" And she's like, "Oh my God, yes." So took one home, stayed the night with us. It cried, put it in the crate to go to sleep, and like laid down next to it, next to the crate on the floor, and it like cried. So we called the people back and we got a second one. They're litter mates. They're both females. Oh, here's a little weenie dog. Annie, Kuma, come here. See, and there's one right there. Come here, dog. So it's a little dog. Some little Chihuahua mix. It ran out the fence at us. So I dropped my leash. I'm not gonna let the dogs pull me off the bike. And my dogs are pretty well under control. They're not 100. Nothing is 100% with dogs. They're pretty well under control. I'm not gonna let them chase it back onto the other person's, into the fence where the other dog got out. Like, I'm not gonna let them go in there. But yeah, I do see the videos of the guy riding his bike around and pepper spraying the dogs, the loose dogs. And I'm for it. I think he's like doing a community service. He's literally training these people's dogs for them. What they have failed to do, he's doing it for them. Like it shouldn't be loose chasing people down the road, especially bicycles. Seen the videos, seen the news, kids being attacked and killed that way. And that's a terrible thing to think. Like, you can't let your kids ride their bikes down the streets because people get power breeds, aggressive breeds, and then completely fail to train or contain them. And it's terrible. But there's a big ass, some type of boxer mix on my street that's held back by this crumbling old fence, man. It's like every time I take my kid out to ride his bike, I'm like, we have to be extra wary of that. I have to put myself between him and that fence. I just don't trust it at all. But yeah, so you can ride your bike and run the dogs. I actually think it's a great thing. It does take some practice and some training, but my dogs have been just right here, just running right alongside me this whole time. So think about offering it as a service. I'm not exactly sure how to do that, but I could run other people's dogs, and people need that service. Like these dogs, I think that's one reason they're so anxious and aggressive, and they have these behavioral issues, because they get these power breeds, these big ass dogs, and then they expect them to be couch potatoes. Imagine you and the height in your prime, 18 to 25, and being expected to sit at a desk all day, sit on the couch, watch movies with mommy all day, and that's what happens when you have these 2-year-old, large breed dogs, or even medium dogs, especially the medium dogs, especially the ones that are bred they come from working lines, or they're just mutts, and you don't really know what their line is. These dogs are made to run. Anyways, the dogs are made to run. They absolutely love it. We're like a pack cruising down the street, and my dogs are very well behaved, so I'm happy to do it. Later. And then they get thirsty. And then they get very thirsty. Yes.